up, you guys? Johnny here for Obesetobeast. I'm here with
Danny Gets Fit. What's going on?
So that last clip was literally a year and a half ago. So Danny is here in town again, obviously. So we decided to film another weight loss Q&A and kind of update all the information and just do it again. So that's an interesting dance.
We're gonna start off with something really important though.
Okay.
This was asked by someone. Super important. Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Marvel?
Yes.
I would also say Marvel.
I mean, mainly just because the movies are so much better.
Yeah, like, I don't know what is...
I personally feel like Superman, honestly, I feel like Superman would beat any superhero just because of, like, it's kind of no fair, all the powers that he has. But...
Or Hulk. Team Hulk.
Yeah, Hulk is a beast too. But personally, like, as far as like movies is concerned and storylines and stuff, Marvel absolutely does better.
I don't know what's to do with DC. They just can't do it.
Yeah.
They just can't get it done properly. Anyways, let's get in.
All right, so answering the very first question that was asked on the post. So it's, what is your favorite part about not being obese anymore?
Honestly, which it sucks because like society's just made it the way it is, but just the way people would like look and treat me, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like, it sucks because it happens, but like we have to talk about it because we know there's people out there that experience this every day still, and it's probably like the best thing I left behind, and I just
mine's kind of similar to that, but it's more like the mindset that I had, and like going out to places and going out to you know, new places, especially. Like, I was very much so concerned, and like I would focus so much on what other people would think of me, and like thinking to myself, all these people think that I'm just disgusting and nasty, and that sucked. And I would get like just anxiety off the bat when I would get invited places. Like, I would just automatically feel like that. So it's really cool not you know, dealing with that stress anymore. It's probably my I would say my favorite part, just because I feel like I can actually be myself and not be this version of myself that I felt like I had to be for others to accept me.
You always talk about clean, good carbs in brackets. Should it always be oats, brown rice, and sweet potatoes? No, it doesn't have to be always complex carbs. The benefit of complex carbs really are, one, they're usually more dense in fiber, so they're gonna be more satiating, so that means like it's gonna make you feel more full. That's benefit one. Benefit two is that they're more dense in micronutrients. That's just overall health. Good. But honestly, like, if one day you're like, oh, I'm just tired of brown rice, and you want to do white rice for a week, or you want to do regular potatoes over sweet potatoes, then by all means do that. Cook them the same way you would. Like, I think the most thing that happens when you start to do regular carbs is that you just start to increase calories more. Like, it's easy to just go, well, I'm gonna cook these potatoes. I didn't add butter to sweet potatoes, but I'm gonna add butter to these regular potatoes, and salt and pepper, and maybe some bacon bits, and blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden you're eating you're not just like switching it up. You're completely eating way more food than you were before. So as long as you're making those good choices and you're just switching it up for a bit, and if it's helping you get through a diet better than it would be if you had to stick to these complex carb foods, then by all means do it. Because I started out that way, just eating brown rice for so long, because I was like, oh, white rice, you can't do that. And then I just made the switch of like kind of incorporating both, and it was just mentally way easier.
What is the best cardio workout at the gym or at home to lose body fat and lose weight? Okay, so I like this question. First off, I already made a video about this recently, but weight loss is 95 to 99% your diet, and you know, being in a caloric deficit from your diet, and I really do believe that. If you want more information, just click on like a couple of videos ago. It's literally all about that fact. But personally for me, so with cardio, and when people ask like, what's the best cardio? What's the best cardio for me to do? Literally, and seriously, I believe this. It's literally whatever you enjoy doing, and what you will continue to do for a while. You know, if you literally hate going on the treadmill, that is not the cardio that you should be doing, 100%, because you're not going to continue doing it, right? For me, I love the stair climber. I love that. I feel like I burn the most calories doing that, and I feel like for me, it's something that I can do for 20 minutes every single day, and it's not really that big of an issue. For other people, they hate the stair climber, and they would never do that for that long, and that's totally fine. So, like, if you find a DVD that you like to do a workout to, and like it gets you to do cardio, then that's what you should do. Or if you like running, it's literally, there's no form of cardio that's like, this is gonna help you lose fat more than this form. It's just gonna help you burn calories, which in turn is going to hopefully help you lose fat, because you'll be in that caloric deficit. Yeah,
people think they're gonna burn fat magically from cardio, and that's just not the way it happens. It happens when your body's in a caloric deficit, like you said, and that's the only time it's gonna happen. So cardio is like a tool that you use after your diet's in check to even either further your weight loss, or even to possibly eat more, which you wanna be very careful with that. that. But those are the two scenarios that cardio comes into play. Is either it lets you be more in a caloric deficit, you lose body fat faster, or if you're a person who's like, man, I need to be eating more than this, how do I do it without gaining weight back, is you work in your cardio to eat a little bit more daily. I don't know why I said cardio.
Cardio.
I'm from Eastern Canada.
Do the cardio.
Cardio.
The cardios.
Have you forgotten what it was like to be obese? No. Like in a way, yes and no. Like no as in, like I definitely remember being that person, but yes as in it just felt like it was like an eternity ago. Like, it's weird. It's weird. People even like see it, like, I don't remember you being as big as you were in pictures. And they say, I get that all the time. It's like they'll see pictures and they're like, that's not you. That wasn't that. You weren't ever that big. And it's like, yeah, I was. Pretty sure I was.
That's such a good question, and like it's one of those ones that it's like I know I can make a whole video about this. You guys know how I am. But it's like literally what he said is so true. I think it's as much yes as it is no for me, because like I couldn't imagine like living the life that I did before when I was obese, but at the same time I know for a fact that the experiences that I had when I was obese and the things that I went through when I was obese have shaped me into who I am now, and it's things that I'll never forget. Like I have stories on stories on stories on stories of the things that happened to me that I guarantee have shaped me into the person I am today. But at the same time, like it's hard for me to imagine ever being back at that size. So it's literally as much of a yes as it is as a no for me, for sure. I knew this question was going to be coming up, so I'm actually interested to hear your answer on this. So basically they asked, has your loose skin shrunk at all? You know, losing weight, gaining weight, and you know,
you want me to answer first?
Yeah.
So I was 312. John was the highest you remember is
360. But I have a feeling I was a little bit more, but whatever. That's besides the point.
So like we're definitely different sizes. So I don't have as bad as loose skin. I definitely do have loose skin in my chest area and my lower abdomen, my lower back, a little bit in between my legs, which I've made a video on. You can go check my channel if you want. But for me, how it's changed, it's definitely in the past year and a half, I've noticed slight changes, and that is the reason because I've added more muscle, which has filled it a bit more. But to like side by side show a photo and see like, oh, has it changed a bunch? No. The thing about loose skin is the first myth about loose skin I would say is that people think if you lose fat too fast you're gonna have more loose skin. I found that really isn't the case, and not a lot of science backing that up. So loose skin you have to prepare for. It's something that when I was losing weight,
it's raining leaves.
It's something when I was losing weight was scaring me. Like I'd be like, you know, do I want to lose this weight? Do I want to look like that? But I wouldn't give it up for the world. And loose skin, you have to get the, you know, will it improve kind of out of your head, because it's gonna be rough. Yeah. Like it will, if you're focused on how do I fix it, how do I improve this, how do I fix this problem with me, you're gonna make it something that's gonna be much harder of a thing to deal with later on. The first thing you have to accept is that it's gonna happen, and it's not gonna matter as much as you think. I have dated a few girls since I've lost the weight, and I have never had one girl be like, oh, what is that? Like, like honestly, the most reaction I've had is that girls are like, play with me, like, this is so like cool. It's so weird and cool. And like they feel like the stretch marks, and they'll be like, I like it. So yeah, there's definitely the person out there for you if you're worried about that with stents. But loose skin in general is just it's obviously been different for me than it has been for him. I do plan to get loose skin surgery one day. It's not gonna be for many years, but I want to see what that would look like just because it's interesting to me. But yeah, that's pretty much my whole thing about loose skin.
For me, that I think I probably get this question a lot more than you probably do. Honestly, like I don't focus on it too much. Like I'm not sitting in front of a mirror, standing in front of my mirror and like pulling at my chest and my belly and stuff.
Oh,
and like
has this gotten
thinking
better?
like, oh, has it gotten better? Has it gotten better? Do I get comments a lot of people like, man, it looks like your loose skin has tightened up? Yeah, and like that does mean a lot to me, and that's really cool that people are saying that. But at the same time, I'm not sitting there like thinking to myself like, oh man, I really hope this is getting better. I really hope it's getting better, because I feel like I try to be as realistic as possible. And for me, I know for a fact that there is no way that my loose skin will ever go away without getting surgery. I know that, you know, and I'm not thinking to myself like, oh, if I get this lotion or if I drink more water or all this stuff, like, will it maybe get a little bit better? Yeah, maybe, but it's never going to completely go away, and I really am okay with that. And like Danny said, it's not as big of an issue as I think people make it out to be. It's like one of those, I've said it before, but it's like you end up turning into this huge like dragon that you have to slay, that you're like so terrified of, and it's like, oh my gosh, like I'll never be able to get over that. But in reality, it's like a little like maybe lizard that's like, it's not that big of a deal. It really isn't. Like Danny said, I've had, you know, I had a really long-term girlfriend. I've never had an issue. I've never had someone to be like a girl, especially a girl that I was interested in, be like freaked out by it. And I think personally for me, it's because, you know, if somebody is talking to me, most likely they've gone to my social media and like I talk about it all the time, so they've seen it before. So it's not like it's like this surprise. They're like, hey, look it, guess what? Loose skin, gotcha. No, it's like, you know what I mean? Haha, yeah. Come here. So it's like they're obviously they know that it's coming. I guess it's definitely something that so many people struggle with, and like Danny said, everyone thinks like if you lose weight too fast, you're gonna get loose skin. I like Danny said, I haven't read any studies that really actually say that. There's so much more that goes into it. How fast did you gain the weight? Genetics. You know, how old were you when you? Yeah, that's the biggest part.
There's some people that are our size and bigger that lost weight and like look phenomenal.
Almost have no loose skin at all. So it's It's one of those things that everyone paints it black and white, but there's such a huge gray area with it.
I've struggled with being overweight my entire life, and of course, low self-esteem, confidence come with that. Did you ever struggle with either one? And if so, how long did it take you to gain it back? And how also did you take for your skin on your arms to shrink up? Oh, so more loose skin.
Wow, you read that so fast.
So the majority of the question is, did you ever struggle with either low self-esteem or low confidence? And how has it gotten better or gained it back? So confidence, self-esteem is definitely one that we also get quite a bit, just because it's normal for you to have low confidence, or it's normal for people who are overweight to have low confidence, just because you start not to like believe in yourself in a sense. Like it's like, I made a video about this. Essentially, it was titled "Why Are Fat People Unattractive?" But that wasn't the message of the actual video. The message of the video was that the mentality that comes with being overweight or obese is the thing that people may find unattractive because you can't believe in yourself. And that's not everyone. This is some people. That how's it, you know. That's what you portray. And what I found with working out, and this is going to be different for most people, but people attribute, oh well, you gain confidence back because obviously you look better. Yeah, that has come with the journey, but when you put a goal in mind and you work hard towards that goal, for the first time in your life, you see yourself achieving something. You see, you get the sense of accomplishment. You see other people being like, hey, go for it, get it. And you know, there's gonna be people who are not gonna be supporting you, but the majority of it came from people who saw my change, and for me to realize, hey, like I finally made this happened. Like finally I was able to lose the weight that I've wanted to for so long. And once that became a reality, I just exuded more confidence. It just naturally came. There's still low self-esteem and confidence issues that I deal with, you know, here and there. Like that's everyone in the world. You're not alone in that. Like everyone has the stuff they deal with each day in, day out. But it does improve and it does get better over time. And all I can say about that is just like keep going, and you'll start to notice yourself. You won't notice it until all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, like I just looked in the mirror and I wasn't like, ugh. Like, I looked in the mirror and I was like, okay with who I am, who I was, who I saw. And that honestly is one of the best feelings that comes with this whole journey, if I can say. Other than like, obviously you look better, you feel better. One of the best things is starting to believe in yourself. It's life changing. That's why I would say it's more than just a physical thing. Like honestly, the physical thing is like the last thing that I'm happy with for my whole journey. Is I've completely changed and grown as a person throughout this process.
I definitely struggled with self-confidence, and I had low self-esteem. Like I was the guy that would go into a room and make fun of myself first before other people could make fun of me and stuff like that. But like Danny said, losing the weight isn't something that gave me confidence, I would say, because I think a lot of people see weight loss as this cure-all for any issue that you're having. You know, if you're overweight and you're dealing with it, lose weight and you'll probably be okay with it. I don't believe that's true. There's definitely times when I struggle with anxiety and struggle with you know, low self-esteem, but I have to say it's gotten better, not because I have less fat on my body, but because I've realized, holy crap, like this thing that I've done is like something that so many people struggle with, and like I was able to accomplish it. And now it's like, it's just, that gives you the confidence, not having lower body fat. So this is a question that we got a ton, but it's basically what they asked is, what advice do you have for someone that's basically at a standstill? So they're at a plateau, right? So that's obviously a huge thing that people deal with. Now, the best tip I can give you is make sure that you are tracking everything that you're eating, especially if you're at a standstill. Now, I'm not saying that you have to track to lose weight, or like that's like a needed, necessary thing. But if you are hitting a plateau and you're realizing that your progress is slowing down, you have to change something, right? So the easiest way to change something is to at least know what you're doing, right? Know how many calories you're eating, how much cardio you're doing. So start tracking that, and then you can actually make informed decisions on what you're gonna do. So my best tip is like literally don't go crazy, because a lot of people, when they hit a plateau, they decide, I'm cutting 1,000 calories out of my diet. You know, go slow, go slow. Like cut 200 calories out, or add 10 extra minutes of cardio. Start slow and just grind for a while, see what happens. You know, after 2 weeks, if you're not seeing any changes, then maybe make a little bit more change. And another thing, and this is like probably the biggest tip, is you have to be brutally honest with yourself, because most of the time when I've helped people get through a plateau, I'll talk to them, and then I'll really talk to them, and I'll realize, and it was the same for me, is you end up lying to yourself. You like, okay, maybe I go into the fridge at night and have a little bit of extra snack, and then I'm really talking to them, and it's like an extra 600 calories a day, and that is obviously going to stop you from making progress. So
yep. Most of the common thing that I see with people who reach plateaus is they started at like 300 pounds, they started at 250 pounds, and then now they're like lost 30 pounds and they're still eating the same amount of food. So what happens to your body, the bigger it is, the more energy it uses throughout the day, so then the more you can eat. The smaller you get, the less energy your body uses throughout the day, so you need to eat less. Your body starts to naturally balance itself out, so those changes need to be made once you've made progress.
So stepping away from like the super intense questions that we've been answering, so what is your favorite cheat meal?
Cheat meal?
Yes. Or it could be like a genre of food, or like a...
Yeah, so my top 3 foods, because I talked about this before, was sushi, pizza, and donaires. If I could like just have one of those, it'd be like a donaire pizza, because those are amazing.
That's not, I've never had that.
So there's Mediterranean places in Canada where essentially it's like donaire meat's like a mix between a lamb and beef, and it's like cooked on like a rotating thing, and they shave it off. They put that on pizza, thin crust pizza with like cheese and mushrooms and like hot sauce and tzatziki, and
that sounds really good.
It's very, very good.
So I would say the type of food that I would eat is probably Mexican food. And now, honestly, Mexican food really isn't that terrible macro-wise. You can make it actually pretty good, but the type of Mexican food that I like, there's these things called super nachos at this taco shop right down the street from my house. They are incredible. So it's like, first off, it's an incredible amount. It's insane how much nachos they put in this box, right? So it's nachos, just chips basically, and then they throw like carne asada on it, they throw like refried beans on it, they throw rice on it, they throw sour cream, guacamole, and then a bunch of salsa, and cheese on top. Oh my gosh, it is so good. I've only eaten a full one time, and it was, I mean, it was delicious at the time, but I hated myself after I finished it. It was so like,
usually,
but those, oh my gosh, so good, so good.
Yeah. We can also end that off with, a lot of people asked if we incorporate cheat meals in our diet. I do personally. When he was in prep, or if I'm like really trying to lose weight in a short amount of time or whatever, then I won't. But if in long-term proper dieting, you should have diet breaks and refeeds built in. Not necessarily cheat meals, but proper diet breaks and refeeds. I've made videos on those. He's probably made videos on those. Definitely are part of a good nutrition. A lot of people are asking, you know, when YouTube, which is not going to happen for many years, people are saying, you know, what happens when like YouTube stops doing it, or what happens maybe when your channel dies off or whatever. What plans do you have career-wise for after all this, or do you have plans to go to school or whatnot? So for me, I did try to go to school. So basically in high school I wasn't the smartest, and I'm still not the smartest guy, and to sit down for hours and hours on end and focus on schoolwork is just not something I found myself capable of doing, no matter how hard I tried. And it actually made me go into kind of like a heavy state of like depression for a while, so I dropped out of school just because it wasn't for me, and school isn't for everyone. And I got certified to be a personal trainer. I personal train and I do online coaching. Personally, that's what I love to do. That's what I plan to do for a long time. And then later on in life, maybe open or work at like a personal gym to help. I always want to be involved in the fitness industry somehow. I never plan on just leaving that behind and going working at like something else. My answer is basically the same as Danny's. First off, I absolutely love making videos, so I don't see myself ever just like stopping. Like I couldn't, this platform is never gonna get to the point where no one watches your videos ever.
So,
even if something new and crazy comes out, people will still be like, YouTube. Like, we go there.
Well, and the thing is like if something new and crazy comes out, I'm assuming I would probably adopt
migrate.
that and get into that as well.
It's like Vine died, but everyone's still around. I see you, Logan Paul. That was a big bust.
But basically, like, I think that I would always, like Danny said, I would always do something in the fitness industry. I definitely am gonna do online coaching at some point soon. There's just a ton of stuff that goes into that, and I would hate to like announce it and say like, oh, I'm gonna do it, and then just not put my full 100% into it. So it's something that I definitely want to do, but I don't want to just like be like, hey, I'm gonna do online coaching and then take on a few clients and not really give it my all. But it's definitely 100% something that I do want to do because I get that question every single day. But there's just a lot of avenues, and like, who knows, like in 10 years, do I know exactly what I want to be doing and where I'll be in my life? I don't know, and I'm not sure how, like if you can say that you know that, then that's awesome, but personally for me, I don't 100% know where I would be. But I do know that I love doing what I'm doing right now and being in the industry that I'm in right now and being able to help so many people, so I don't see why I would want to not be doing that in the future. All right, so there was like a million, like seriously, I was not expecting as many questions as we got, but I'm really not trying to make this video way too long. So we're gonna end it there, but I just wanna say thank you guys, seriously, for asking. I've never had that many questions on a Q&A before, and it was seriously crazy. If you are not subscribed to Danny yet, go ahead and do that if you are looking for, you know, another weight loss person to follow. Danny obviously is my friend. We hang out all the time. He's from Canada, so we don't actually hang out all the time, but we talk all the time. So, you know, definitely follow him if you're not following him already. But again, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There was one other thing that we wanted to say. What was it? Oh yeah, look how buff I am.
Stay swole, my friends. Then you can eat your taco. I know, when we were filming this video, a taco that their friend brought me just walked through, and I was like, I wonder if I should go grab that taco and then come and like eat it during the video, but that probably wouldn't have been the best. Anyways.
Obey the warning signs, and when there are flashing lights or wigwags, don't attempt to cross until they come to a complete stop.